If you were disappointed when they took Halo 2 off the Xbox Live servers, this video is for you. Upon doing some research and some digging, I have found a way that we can still enjoy and play this game online with people from all over the world at any time we wish. Now, this video is going to be a 100% complete tutorial on how to set this up and operate it. It does involve a little networking, and it does involve a little router tweaking. But I promise if you follow the video step by step according to how I show you to do it, it will not be extremely complicated. Now, I understand that you're going to have to pause, and I'm going to give you opportunities to pause and do things during the video. Now, with that being said, I cannot confirm nor deny that this works on Mac operating systems or Windows 8. However, I can say that anything below Windows 8 it does work on. I have done it. I'm running Windows Vista right now, so I'm going to be continuing on through this installation process. We're going to need a pencil and a piece of paper. We're going to have some numbers to write down. Now, first thing is we got to take our internet to a router. This is where the networking comes in. Also, this has a wireless option. However, I could not get it to function properly. Also, I'm a hardwired type of person. I believe that wireless will promote lag. Now, wireless users, I will show you how to set it up to make it wireless. However, like I said, I couldn't get it to work properly. Now, with all that out of the way, you're going to take the internet to the router, and then you're going to connect your computer or your laptop, whatever you're going to use, to the router, and then also your Xbox. And after you get this done, we're going to go to the Internet Explorer, and we are going to type in xbconnect.com. Now, whenever you get to here, you're going to click on the Downloads button over here on the site navigation. Now, once this gets pulled up, you're going to scroll down a little bit, and there's going to be two options. There's also a third option, but that costs $15, and really it doesn't give you anything special. It doesn't matter if you get skinned or skinless. They both do the same thing. They both operate the same. So whenever you click on one of these, make sure you click Save As and save it somewhere where you know where it is, such as the desktop or a designated folder. But please just make sure you know exactly where they are. Now, after you've downloaded this, it's going to look like this. And like I said, I like to put my stuff on my desktop. Now we're going to run through the installation process, and doing this you might come along especially if you're on Vista, you're going to come across a security thing. It's going to allow or continue. If you see one about the firewall, be sure to click Allow. Now with it pulled up, we're going to click Next, and then Next again, and you won't see this screen. I see this screen because I already have it installed. So I'm going to retain my current settings just to show you two very important things we don't want to miss. Click Next here, click Next here. Here is very important. Choose your packet driver. You need to select Use WinPCAP driver. Then click Next. Very next thing that's extremely important, unselect. We do not want to install WinPCAP at this moment. Now I'm going to cancel this, but you need to continue to click Next and finish the installation. Now, after you've installed it, don't run it. Give it a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. So we're going to come back to the Internet Explorer, and we are going to go to winpcap.org. Now, when you get here, we're going to click on this button right here. Now, when you do, It's going to bring you to this, and you're going to click Installer for Windows. And I cannot stress this enough. On this one, for sure, be sure that when you do this, you click Save As, and you know exactly where this is, because we have to tweak this before we can install it. Now, I already have it installed, so I'm not going to go through the process, but just be sure to click this and then Save As. And when it's downloaded, it will look like this. Now, before we install, I said we had to tweak it, so we're going to right click it, and we're going to go, whoops, not the right click. We're going to right click it, going to go down here to Properties. Now, we're going to go to the Compatibility tab, and we're going to run this program in Compatibility Mode 4. I said I was on Windows Vista. I'm running this on Windows XP. Windows Vista is not in this drop down box. If you have Windows 7 or Windows Vista, Windows XP will work. If you don't see your operating system up there, pick the closest one to it. It will work. Now, whenever you do this, you're going to click Apply and OK. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to mess with this. But you need to be sure to check this, select the one closest to your operating system, click Apply, and then click OK. Now, after that, you can double click on this and go ahead and install it. Just completely go through the installation, and we'll go from there. Now, after you get done installing that, we're going to do a couple of things all at once, and here's where the router tweaking comes in. So be sure to have that pencil and paper ready. You're going to have to write down some numbers. Now, the first thing we want to do is launch XBC, and this is the part where you want to allow it, especially on Vista users. Now, whenever you load this up, you're probably going to get a box first, and you can read it if you want, but click OK, and you're going to come to this screen. It might ask you if you're new, and obviously you're going to click Yeah. You need to create a new XBC ID. Okay, at this point, pause the video and create an account. Now, when you're done creating an account, we're going to go ahead and log in. But first, let me tell you, this is my profile. If you have any questions, or if you want to play a game with me, find me by my profile name, add me, and just write me a message. Now, we're going to proceed to log in. Now, this is some pretty exciting stuff, because as soon as we come in, hey, we see people playing Halo 2. And over here is all the games that you can play. You don't necessarily just have to play Halo 2. You can play all these games. You can play on Xbox or 360. You can play on a PSP. I haven't tried the PSP, but I'm here strictly for the Halo 2. Now, I'm going to do a little elaborating on this program real quick. These are the server names. If I was to host a game, the host button is down here, and I'll explain how to do that in a little while. My name is going to show up under the server name. Your ping is the connection. The smaller the ping, the better the connection. That means the less lag. The bigger the ping, like this ping is outrageous right now, more than likely it could lag. Now, I'm just going to be honest and truthful with you. Since I've been playing the last 3 weeks, I haven't really experienced any lag. Now, another thing, this box in play, let me back up to the ping real quick. This FW means firewalled. Okay, now I will go through this and explain this. However, there is one part I can't explain, and you will have to Google it for yourself, is the router firewall. If you have a router that has firewall enabled capabilities, you will have to Google by the brand and your model number and figure out how to turn them off. I actually don't have a website to do that. I've never had that problem, so you might have to do that depending on your brand or your model. Now, the other thing is the Windows firewall, and since we're talking about it, let's go ahead and check and make sure. What you need is to go to your Start and then Control Panel, and it's going to pull this up. Now, while we're in here, we're going to do two things, but we're going to do the firewall first. Allow a program through Windows Firewall. We're going to click this option. We're going to continue. And it's going to bring up a box. Looks a lot like this. We're going to scroll down. We're going to find XB Connect. If it's checked, great. If not, make sure you put a check in it and apply it. This allows it to go through the firewall so you don't have connection issues. Once that's done, click OK. Make sure you hit apply first. Okay, the next thing we're going to do while we're in the control panel, get your pen and paper ready, you're going to need it. We're going to view network and status and task. We're going to find the default gateway. We have to have the default gateway to access the router so we can tweak it. Once you've clicked on that, you're going to come to a screen that's similar to this, and under network or somewhere next to connection there's going to be a view status button, and we want to click that, and it's going to bring this up, and this is your internet details basically, and you need to go into the finer details, so we need to click this details button right here, default gateway. If it says default gateway and it has some numbers beside it, that is the router. That's the router information. You need to write this number down. We're going to need it. And right beside it on your piece of paper, default gateway. Once you've got it wrote down, just close out of everything we just opened. Now, back to this. We just discussed the firewall. Now, I'm going to say this. If your router does have firewall and you disable them, okay, and Xbox Connect is going through the Windows firewall and it still says FW on a player, it's not your connection, it's on their end, because you can have everything turned off and their firewall will show up. Now, just because it's firewall doesn't mean you can't connect. It just means it's less likely. You can still try, but it most likely will time out. However, I've been able to join people that has FW and had no problems at all. Now, this box in play screen right here, okay, box means how many people is allowed in the server. Now, in and play is kind of confusing. I'm not really sure exactly how these work yet. I haven't actually got to play around with it and watch and see how it goes. Now, type, obviously you can see what's going on here. This is a free-for-all. Okay, this might say Slayer, blah blah blah, self-explanatory. Game, Halo 2, or it might show something else. I've seen some guys on Ghost Recon 2 earlier. So, location, this is at your discretion. If you want to give up your location, fine, great, have at it. There's several people from other countries, there's several people from the United States, and this will be other miscellaneous info. Now, it also has a chat bar down here that you can use to talk to people. You just type in and hit enter, and it brings up whatever you want to type. This is your friends list. These are your buddies. You can refresh, and these are players it's on, and it's going to take a minute to load and I'm not going to let it because it'll take a while. Excuse me. But let's do what we came here to do. We're going to go to tools, we're going to go to options, we're going to go to general options. Now, we're going to do several important things right here. One, we need to get your pencil and paper ready, and we need to write this number down. Your number will be different than mine. Well, at least it might be. I won't say it will, because it could very well be the same, but not likely. Okay, this is your local IP address. Now, what you need to do is write down beside this XBC port to be forwarded IP address. Okay, once you have that wrote down, just make sure you write it down because it's really important. Don't leave out the dots where they are, especially this last number. That last number is really important. Okay, wireless users, here's your heads up. I have a wireless network. If you're using wireless network, you need to have it checked and selected. Now, I have no idea what this is. It says Mac, so I don't know if it's for a Mac computer, Mac operating system, or if it's talking about the MAC address. I have no idea. I don't know what WET 11 is either. Never heard of it. All I know is it says wireless next to it. Like I said, I couldn't get the wireless to function properly. So if you're going to use wireless, you might want to Google this whole option right here to see if you can get something to come up for it. Now, everybody, even wireless users, this is extremely important. You need to use WinPCAP library. You remember what we installed and we had the tweak before we installed? This is it. You have to use it. Make sure it is selected. Now all this other stuff in here, you can use at your own discretion. Check whatever you want to do, and then we're going to hit OK. Now, I would say minimize this. However, if you can find the minimize button out of these 4 buttons, you're doing pretty good. All I know is this one exits. I haven't played around with them that much, so I'm going to leave it open. Now, what we're going to do is go back to the Internet Explorer. Now, we're going to open up a new tab, and the default gateway, just the default gateway number, should look like this, or something similar to that. Remember, we got it from the control panel under the area connections and details. You're going to type this in, and you're going to hit enter, and it's going to bring up this box. Okay, you're fine. This is completely normal, and we want this to come up. Okay, Netgear, that's my brand. Preferably I'm a Linksys fan, but I had a Netgear laying around, so I used it. You're going to need to know your brand, okay? And then this second number is your model number, okay? Write both of them down, write them side by side, and then put like router, model, make and model, you know. Okay, this stuff right here is going to be more than likely defaults unless somebody's already tweaked it. Let's say, for instance, you didn't have a router, but you have a friend that had an extra one, and you borrowed it from him. Okay, that's cool, but what if they've went in and tweaked it, and the username and the password is not what Port Forward is going to show you it is? Port Forward will give you the defaults to the router. Okay, don't panic and don't get discouraged if nothing works down here. So I'm going to tell you how to fix it. Hold the reset button in the back of it for 30 seconds or until all the lights flash vigorously, and then let it go. This restored the router to factory defaults. Now, what you're going to do here is click cancel, and then we're going to open up another tab, and we're going to go to portforward.com. This is a really good site. It's really helpful. Now, what we're going to do is scroll down and view a full listing of our supported routers. Once that gets pulled up, these are all the brand names that they have on file, and they have a pretty extensive list. So more than likely, I'm about 98% sure you're going to find your router on here. So mine's a Netgear, so I'm going to click in, and it brings me right down here where the ends are, and here's Netgear. So I'm going to click my brand, and it's going to bring me up to this ad. Just close it out. Alright, after you get past the brand and the advertisement, it's going to ask you for your model number. It's a good thing we wrote it down. But if you forgot to write it down, you can just simply go back to that other tab, type in your default gateway, and see what the model number is. Now, if it doesn't show up, you can look on the bottom or the back or the side, and it should be listed somewhere. Now, we are going to find our model number. Mine started with a W, so I'm going to click W, and right here is my model number. Now, I'm going to kind of run through this a little bit fast because routers will vary. So my brand is not going to look like yours. Your interface is going to look different to mine unless you have the same router, same make and model. So, but it's pulling up this screen now, and these are everything you can port forward. So we're doing XB Connect. So we're going to click on the X. And right here it is, XB Connect. And we're going to click on that. Now, we're going to scroll down here. And you can read all this and follow it step by step. And it'll tell you exactly what you need to do to forward that port. And it has all the numbers except for that IP number we wrote down from the tools and then general options from Xbox Connect or XB Connect. Now these are the default username and passwords to that little screen whenever you type in the default gateway that comes up, similar to this one right here. This is the defaults. So use that to log in and it'll get you into the interface. Now, I'm going to come back over here and type in my default gateway, and I'm going to log into my router interface. And I already have this done, but I'm just going to give a quick run through of how it's done. You're going to come down here, most likely it's going to be in the advanced, and you want to go to port forwarding, and you want to be sure to select that. And up here, like I said, it will vary from brands and models, so don't take this to heart. Look on portforward.com and read it. It explains it a lot better, especially because there's over 1,000 brands of routers. It's ridiculous. Now, here is what it's going to look like when you get it done. Okay, the service name, you can type in whatever you want. I put in XBC for Xbox Connect. That's what it stands for. Okay, the start port and end port. Okay, these will be the same. 8602. They will be the same for mine. They will be the same for yours. They will be the same for your neighbors. They will be the same for some kid in China. So these are the same. And on Port Forward it does tell you this. Now, your server IP address. This is that number we got from XBC that we wrote down from general options. It is your port forwarded IP address. Put this number in. Now, on a note, this is rare. However, it has happened once that I know of. This number on the end has been known to change, but it doesn't change in the router. It changes on XB Connect. Now, for some reason one day, if you're trying to get on and play and it won't let you on, or XB cannot find your console, look under the general options. Make sure these numbers in the general options and your router match. If they don't, change the router accordingly. Like I said, it's pretty rare, but I have known it to happen. But now, very important, make sure you save your changes. Make sure you save and apply the changes to the router. Make sure of that. Because, I mean, there's nothing worse than thinking you got it done and then going and trying to do something and it didn't save it. So, make sure they're saved and applied. Now, once you got that done, you can minimize that or exit it out. And what we're going to do is go to Tools. We should go back to XB Connect, and then we should go to Tools, Find My Console. Now, there's going to be several options come up. Hit OK. Mine's going to find it pretty fast because I'm sorry. I got a little bit ahead of myself there. What we need to do first is load up Halo on your Xbox. Okay, we're going to press start from here, obviously, and then okay. My XB Connect profile name is this. Now, whenever I choose a profile here, they don't have to match. I can be any name I want to, and the name that you pick here is the name that's going to show up in a game. But it doesn't have to match. Once you select one, don't sign in. If you do, it'll give you an error, kick you back to the start menu. Once you're in, go to System Link. Alright, here's a screen that should be really familiar. Now, you can connect another controller, and you can have more than one player playing on a TV at one time while doing this. So, yeah, you can have several buddies over and play some Halo 2 with people all over the world. Click Next. Alright, here's the main screen that you want to sit at. This is your gateway. Okay, this screen is very important. You need to sit at this screen. Now, while your Xbox sits as... Ooh, I'm sorry, I got a little tongue-tied. While your Xbox is at this screen, we need to go to Xbox Connect on our computer. We need to go to Tools. We need to go to Find. We need to go to My Console. Now, leave all these options checked. Click OK. It's going to find My Console kindly fast because I have found it quite often in the last 3 weeks. I've been playing a lot of Halo. Now, it'll say console has been found. If not, read the error. You shouldn't get an error if you followed my steps. Now, click OK. After this, you're golden, and that Tools Find My Console has to be done directly after this. Now, this screen has to be on your Xbox. Anytime you shut your Xbox off, you leave Halo, leave the game that you're playing, or you close this out, or you shut your computer down, you have to do that every time. But that's all you have to do. All you have to do is load up XBC, and then load this screen on your Xbox, and then Tools, Find My Console. And then from here, you can play it anytime you want to. Now, I'm going to refresh this. To join a game, sit at this screen, find somebody you want to play with, double click them. Alright, I got straight in, no problems. It was amazing. Here's my profile, here's the guy I'm playing with. Now, whenever you do that, this screen will go from looking like this to looking like this. And let me tell you, this is an awesome feeling because all you have to do is scroll right down here, click this game, and you're slaying some noobs. Now, if it says open right here, you can jump right in. If it says closed, sorry, you're going to have to wait. However, the reason why is because they probably closed the party because they have an equal amount of team members on each side, and they don't want random people jumping in and interrupting the game, because people still get pretty competitive on it. But don't get discouraged, because the game will be over soon, and they might open it right back up. But if not, you can come right down here, like this guy. He wants me to play some free-for-all right now, and you can say hi, or you can say, hey, can you open the party and let me in? And you might get a response. But if not, just exit out or in the game, and then it will take you back to this screen, or not that screen, but this screen, or you need to go back to this screen to join another game. Now, if you want to host a game, click the host button, click the Xbox, and make sure it says any, and then click whatever game you want to play. I'm just going to leave it on that Halo for now, just to show you what's going to happen. And we're going to click the start button, and it's going to ask you to notify any of your friends. Anytime I've tried to do this while I've been trying to load up and host a game, it's froze on me, and I've had to restart it. So I wouldn't do that. It might just be my computer though. And then click OK, and it's going to bring you up to a screen that looked just like the last one. Now, what you need to do from here is click Create a Game, and you're going to be in. And anybody that comes in is going to join straight into your game. Now, to invite people, just hit the invite button, and all the people that's online on your friends list will be in that option. Now, that's pretty much all I have for you, and that's the 100% tutorial on how to set this up and play. I really hope you enjoy it, and I really hope to see you online. But with this being said, Halo 2 is off Xbox Live. So you cannot get any of the Xbox Live content updates nor the map packs. So this is my suggestion and recommendation. You do not have to have these to play. I'll repeat that. You do not have to have it to play on here. But I do recommend it. Amazon.com sells it for like $4, and it has 3 massive map pack updates and also an extremely important gameplay update. And it's well worth it if you're going to play more than 5 or 6 games. Yeah, I mean it's well worth it. The maps alone are just priceless. So I strongly recommend to get on Amazon and purchase that. However, you don't have to. That's completely up to you. Like I said, you do not have to have it. But you can message me in the comments of this video if you have any questions or concerns, or you can find me on XBC as my profile name. My profile name is right here, and you can add me and write me at any time. And as soon as I get a chance, I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you on very soon.